Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to the segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. Our recitation continues from Dhanasari Mahalla Panjwa. And this is the 56th sabad, composed by the 5th Guru, Guru Arjan, in the rag Dhanasari. And the sabad. Dhanasari Mahalla Panjwa, Tripat Bhie Sach Bhojan Khaia, मन तन रसना नाम ध्याया, जीवना हर जीवना, जीवन हर जप साध संग रहाओ, अनेक प्रकारी वस्त्र उड़ाए, अनदिन कीर्तन हर गुण गाए, हस्ती रथ अस असवारी, हर का मार्ग हृदय निहारी, मन तन अंतर चरण ते आया, हर सुख निधान नानक दास पाया. So Tripat Bhie, Tripat, satisfaction, fulfillment. I'm experiencing satisfaction because Sach Bhojan Khaia, I have been given true nourishment. The word is literally, I have eaten, which is a physical metaphor for what is happening in the mind. True nourishment. Manatan rasna nam dhyaya, in mind, body, and tongue. I have contemplated upon the wisdom of the self. So obviously this is not physical eating. Sach Bhojan is what actually satisfies our deeper hungers, not simply the stomach's need. The Guru is talking about psychic, chronic restlessness. When that inner life is fed by truth, which is Naam, which is a sustained attempt to return to what is real, then what happens is the compulsive drive towards consumption begins to dissolve. Manatan rasana naam dhyaya. So with mind, body, and tongue, this signals total integration in thought, word, and deed. They all become aligned with the same center, Naam. So the mind no longer churns with unmet desire. The body is no longer a site of disassociation. And the tongue, both as an organ of taste and expression, knows the relish of Naam and speaks the sweet speech from that, mitha bolni. This is the fruit of Kirtan Jap Naam becoming our motion, gat. What was once an effort becomes our default orientation. That's what's going on. Relate this to the previous sabads as well. This is embodied experience. Then the Rahao, Jivana har jivana, Jivana har japi sad sang, Rahao. So Jivana, life, har jap sad sang. Life is to live in mindful awareness in the company or association of the Sad, the Guru, a perfected being. Jivana har jivana. To live is to live in har consciousness or Naam consciousness. That is what life actually is. So clearly, it's not physical eating. It is not merely biological survival. Nor is it busyness or accumulation, but living from Naam consciousness, sustained by a relational field, Sad Sangat, the congregation. in which this remembrance is held, practiced, and transmitted. Jivana har jivana. This is the axis. Everything must revolve around this. So most of what we call life is actually a kind of sleepwalk. We are anxious, we are isolated, we feel isolated, organized around fear, comparison, grasping. So real life, the Guru tells us, begins when all of this stops. Living from separation to living from remembrance. And again, this is not a solo project. Sadh Sangat is structural. It's not ornamental. You have to be in this relational container in which your own remembrance can stabilize and deepen. So you have to shift away from the mere biological as life to spiritual aliveness as life. That is what is going to bring you true satisfaction, Tripat, nourishment, Sach Bhojan, and perpetual joy. The second verse here, Anik prakari bastar udaye, andan kirtan har gun gaye. Many kinds of garments are worn, and the har's qualities, the qualities of the har, are sung day and night. So again, external coverings, these are mere appearances. Anik prakar, inner practice is constant. Guruji is making the contrast deliberately. The world teaches us how to manage garments. How do we look? What do we possess? Etc. We are being redirected to what actually is transforming. And as I said, the repeated tuning of one's attention to virtue remembrance. And Kirtan is not simply what you do in the Gurdwara, but it's a practice as orientation. You keep returning your awareness to the qualities of this har. So that has to be practiced. It's effort. Gur also means effort. So what do I do in a world of change? Because that is the external world. The answer is not to drop out, but to keep the inner practice constant, meaning being embedded, being anchored in a compass that directs you. Hasti rat as asavari, har ka marg hriday nihari. Elephants, chariots, horses, and riding. Har ka marg hriday nihari, yet the path of the har is beheld within the heart. So this is quite clean. These are all symbols of power, mobility, and prestige. They are named here. And then they are set aside gently. The real path is internal alignment, harmony. That's what is being advised here. Even while living amid capability, comfort, and the trappings of worldly success, our orientation should remain inward, embedded, entrenched in wisdom, in the heart. The heart is the seat of attention and of intention. These have to come together. Not renunciation, but reordering. Reordering. Wisdom gets the cat seat, so to speak. That's the one that has the vision and then drives the body accordingly. And in conclusion, Man tani antar charan te aaya, har sukh nidan nanak das paya. Man tan antar, within the mind. Within the mind is that flowering experience. As charan te aaya, one's attention turns. Har sukh nidan nanak das paya. That is where the treasure of peace is obtained. So says Nanak, the servant. So Charan is the symbol of grounded presence. This is the stabilizing reality that one can rest on. The inner foundation that does not shift no matter what is happening outside. And when this becomes fully embodied, Mantan Antar, Sukh becomes a lived baseline, a settled condition. So Nanak Das Paya, the servant, is the ego. And as I said before, Gurbani posits a slave-master relationship. We are here to slave, literally, to work and exert towards the greater good. That is the relationship between the universe and us. We are foot soldiers of Akal Purkh, and we ought to keep that in mind. So this is the Sabad's closing verse, the shift of one's attention inward, the embodiment of wisdom to guide our actions with the knowledge that we are the das, the slaves. We are the slaves of humanity. We work towards the good of humanity, but we can't do that unless we are awakened from our own ego. So both go hand in hand. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.